Okay, well, it is 7 o'clock. I'd like to call this January 23rd Rye Township Board of Supervisor meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you would please join us in a moment of silence.
That's it.
Okay, first portion is citizen participation. This is for items that are on the agenda. Do we have any citizen participation? John, it looks like you're signed up.
Yeah, one comment is about the election being held here at the Township Building, since I see the election lease is on there. I wanted to make a comment that seems there is very limited parking at the Township Building, and now it seems it'll be impacting supervisor meetings. And on top of that, our employees' work is impacted, and then residents can't even get in the office to do business. So, between the ball field parking lot is all that's here, and that isn't even township property. So there's just not enough parking. I'm wondering, what is available here for somewhere else for voting. So that's my comment is I think there might be a better spot to do voting here. So that's all.
Yeah, we typically park out back. I think it's always worked out, so.
What was that? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, we typically have folks park out back,
Do you?
so, yeah, the gate.
Because I've never been able to park out back. Okay. At voting day? Yeah,
Sure.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
the
that's
gates
new
are
to
always
me,
open.
so great.
Yeah, yep.
I'll look forward to that this year. Thanks.
Yeah, that's where I parked. Last year wasn't anybody there but me. Oh, I think you guys were down there.
Yeah.
Were you down there? Okay.
Okay. Moving on to approval of the minutes, December 12th, 2023 Supervisors Meeting. Daisy, I only had one question, it was on page 2.
I changed it.
Okay,
I
was,
thought that was two separate incidences in the same area, and Greg goes, no, that was the same one, so.
yeah, so it said repair pipe in Leewood Village, assist with setting up Christmas tree, and address drainage concern on Reed Drive. Again, I was thinking they were both the same supervisor.
I summarized and put repair pipe in Leewood Village on Reed Drive.
Okay. maybe
How's
we're all-
that?
Okay.
Cause I asked Brad, I said, was that two separate? And he said yes.
Okay, other than that correction, I make a motion that we approve the December 12th meeting minutes. Do we have a second? Brad, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Minutes from December 12th are approved. And on to January 2nd, the supervisors reorganization meeting. I didn't have any comments on that. Sean, do you have comments?
I do not.
Brad, comments? Anyone wanna make a motion to approve those minutes? Brad makes the motion. Second.
I'll second it.
Sean seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Minutes from the January 2nd reorg meeting were approved. Zoning code enforcement report. From Max Stoner at Glace Associates. We have 5 items. No invoice, correct?
No
I'm not
invoice,
seeing an
no.
invoice. That's it, just wanted to confirm. So, 2 demolition permits, 3 zoning permits. Covering 4 addresses, and that will be up here if anyone wishes to take a look at that. We've got addresses on there. Yeah, okay. Do we not have a redacted?
No, I didn't redact. Do you want me to do that at the end of the meeting?
Please,
Okay.
yeah.
Just, why don't you give that to me so I
Well,
don't
thank
forget,
you.
and I'll take
Thank
it.
you. Sewage enforcement report, Daisy tells me we did not receive one. There was no activity this month, so therefore we do not have one. Road report, Brad, please.
Plowing Cinder Road, of course, and mixed salt and cinders. Delivered trash cans to various residents. Clean out and clean up down trees. Call out, we had call outs for down trees and we cleaned those up. Rebuilt the chains on truck 2. Cleaned up roads and drains from the high water that we had. And we had the number 7 backhoe repaired. And that's about it. Clean out ditches and debris, like already said that. Yep.
Okay. Thanks, Brad.
Yep.
What happened if the trash collector took the trash can?
What's that, Sean?
What happened if the trash collector took the trash can?
I don't know. I think what happens there, sometimes, see, this guy here is new on it, and he doesn't release it, and it fell in the hopper.
If-
Once it goes in the hopper.
They don't,
They don't retreat.
they're done.
That was winning good.
Okay, okay, alright, whatever.
Yep, so then you need.
Okay, I need another one, okay.
Another one bite the dust.
One person had 3 times.
Really?
But we did, Nancy told him, we think your can's too heavy.
Oh,
That could be, yep.
oh, yeah,
Yep.
okay.
So jumping back for just a minute, I forgot about this in the minutes, December 12th minutes. Just wanted to clarify, on page 2, new curve sign and 15-mile-per-hour sign on S curve on Lambs Gap Road.
That was taken care of.
Okay.
Yep. What happened there, they didn't pre-drill the hole, okay, the other way. So rather than not put it up at all, I put the sign up,
Okay.
okay? And then we got busy with the snow and I didn't get back to do it.
Okay, so that's.
So I had to re-drill the holes and make it right. That's
Okay.
why it was put up the way it was. I'm sorry,
That's right,
but I
that's
thought
what-
it would be
no,
better
I just
there.
wanted to make sure it was.
I thought it would be
Yeah.
better there
With
to have
something.
it,
Yep.
something,
Rather
rather than
than
have
nothing.
nothing, but
Yep.
I got abused and criticized for it. But that's the reason why that was done.
I'm confused and criticized here, just asking the
Okay.
question,
No, no,
because
no,
I know
no,
it was an
not
issue,
you.
yeah,
No,
yeah, no.
no.
But
Not
yeah,
with you.
it was a concern that was
Yep,
expressed, and we
yep,
took care of it,
yep,
thank you.
Yep, yep.
Okay, now we're done with minutes.
No, I'll leave that towards you.
No. Rec board report.
Yes,
Yes.
well, we have, our first 2 events are scheduled, and the first one is a Rye History Night. And it will be held here at at the Township Building on April 11th at 7 p.m. And Brian Hummel is doing it for us again, and he asked that any residents of Rye Township who were raised here and born here, if they have any old photos they'd like to bring along and share, or if they have articles, or anything of interest that they would like to share with, the community, it would be appreciated. So, I wasn't born and raised here, so I have nothing, but if, you know someone who would like to come and bring things along, that would be wonderful. And then our second event is our annual fishing derby, and that will be on May 18th. And again, that will be at the Marysville Sportsman. And the kids will be allowed to fish between 9 and 10:30. We ask that they arrive around 8:30 so they can register before they fish. And then after 10:30, they get a snack, usually a hot dog and chips and a soft drink. And then they get prizes. So those are the first 2 events for the year.
Okay. Great, any suggestions how to get the word out for Brian's request? I mean, how best, because otherwise,
I'm hoping to
we're
get-
talking about it here, but it's gonna.
I'm hoping to get the newsletter done
Okay.
by maybe 3/4 of the way through March. I'm hoping how things go with the audit. But I wanna get that out because if we're changing billing companies, I also wanna get that. So there's a couple things that are kind of timely, need to be put in there and mailed by the end of March or middle of March. It depends how the printer's going also, but I'd like to get that done. That's my goal, so we'll see.
Okay,
But I can send it, I could send it through our email also,
if we could do that too, yeah, 'cause that's,
So
that'd
both
be a good
ways, and
thing
I'll
there.
put it on the website, put it out there.
Great. Thank you, Daisy. Thank you, Nancy. emergency management report, I don't see Jim or Mike here, so I'm assuming we don't.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, no, we
Oh.
emergency management report, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, shift gears. Yeah, so we have none there. Financial treasurer's report, please, Dave.
Okay. The general checking account began with a balance December first of $181,998.22. We had receipts of $99,237.86. Expenditures of $139,136.94. Interest earned of $169.07, leaving us a balance in the general checking account of $142,268.21. The Penny Inn checking account had only interest activity and had a balance January first of $2,306.72. The American Rescue Plan Funds Money Market account had only interest activity and had a balance January first of $2,871.39. The general savings account at Bank of Landisburg had only interest activity and had a balance January first of $2,519.41. The liquid fuels checking account had only interest activity and had a balance January first of $869.31. And the liquid fuels money market account had only interest activity and had a balance January first of $2,679.22. And, I did just mention our audit. I just wanna let the board know that the, auditors, we already have that scheduled for, I think it's the 7th, 8th, and 9th of, February. So, they'll be coming in, and it's usually 2 to 3 days, but they schedule 3 days just in case we have a snow day, or if they're run behind for some reason. So we've been reconciling things. Once, Nancy and I have been already working on some of that, so just wanna let you know.
Okay, thank you, Daisy. Moving on to resolutions, resolution 2406, general investment CD at Penny Inn Bank.
Okay, yes. Do you remember when we put this in? It was for, 99 months.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And I said, I won't be here when this comes due. Anyway, it's coming due actually tomorrow. And so, I'm going to take it, it's approximately $218,500, plus some interest. And, I'm going to take it out of there and put it into a 10-month CD at Bank of Landisburg for 4.8%. Actually, it's 4.81. It might actually be a little more than that since the amount is so much, because sometimes that increases the APY.
Okay.
So that's the best short term that I can get. The rates are starting to come down a little bit, so I'm going to do this short term, and then in 10 months you can decide what you want to do with it then. If you want to, put more in the general fund. This year I don't feel we need, even though we do need it, our general fund is going down. With the art monies that will be coming in May, June, we really do not need to dump this back in. This is just general monies. So if you get 10 months from now and you decide, oh my, this happened and that happened, and you want to dump some of it back in and reinvest some, you can make those decisions then. But I think it's a good decision to put this in for almost 5% at $218,000 for 10 months. And you won't completely net the 5% for a year, but you get it for 10 months. That's my thoughts.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve resolution 24-06. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Brad second, all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2406 is passed. And then moving on to resolution 2407, the fee schedule.
Okay, the fee schedule, this is based on basically what was done in the budget, for 2024 budget. There's 2 changes. I upped the price if anybody would ever want us to print an Act 537 plan or a comprehensive plan. There's a lot of documents with that, and it was at $35. I took it to $40 because I don't know, there's different size stuff, I think it would probably cost that if not more, so. I put that up $5, and the only other thing that we talked about during budget was we put up the junkyard license $5. So that's $250 now, so that's the two major things that, I mean, it's really minor, but they're the two changes that were made to that 2023 schedule. Everything
Anybody
else
have any
is the
issues?
same.
Stayed the same.
Everything's the same.
Good.
Yep.
Motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll
Second?
second.
All in favor? Resolution 2407 is passed.
They actually have, this is going on to the next one, but this actually have a new director of elections. Her name is Sarah Giesemann. And she's been very good and very reaching out to all the municipalities. Very on time with everything, so. And every year we have to do a report from the municipality on the elections, and we actually did it electronically this year, so that was different too.
Lease of 4 years retroactively beginning January 1st of this year and ending December 31st of 27. Rent is $175 per election usage.
Is that an increase or not?
That's the same as
That's the
last
same as it's
year.
been. Okay.
They did increase it, it was either last year or the year before, yeah. It was 150, then they took it to 175.
Okay, just sign this as landlord? Or what is the?
Yes. Yeah, they would be the tenant, we would be the landlord, yeah. So-
Well, do we need to make an
You need
official
to,
motion?
yeah, before you
Oh,
sign, you
yeah.
have to agree that you want to hold it here, and then you wanna go with their agreement.
Sean sounds like he's chomping at the
Two
bit.
resolutions, you hold it here, first resolution, and then you agree with that.
No, that's, is there any reason to?
There's,
we
I
should do
mean,
that?
there's already a,
Would
if
you
you
like
wanna
to
look
see?
at that.
Because of the discussion, I was thinking the first resolution, maybe, that you wanna do it here, and then the
The
second.
first motion, we don't
Yeah.
actually have a written.
Or not a red, but a motion.
A motion.
And then the second motion being that you wanna sign.
Okay. I'll make the motion that we hold the election here and that we, accept the lease. Give a second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
So
Okay,
you-
lease
oh,
is
you-
approved.
Did you want two separate motions?
I thought that would be best, first motion here, second motion.
Not me.
Well, you did.
You
already
did it
do
together.
Okay,
Just
I
want to
apologize.
rescind that.
Make the motion to hold the election here. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Brad second. All in favor? Aye. Then to accept the lease agreement for $175, 4-year term, I'll make that motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Brad second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, now I think we're good. We good? We're covered? Okay, thank you for the. Okay.
I will make a copy of that and send it off for them to sign, and I'm sure they'll send back the original. Well, when I got that, then I was looking through, and I went through and thought I caught all the days. Well, with the primary election coming in April,
Mhm.
it's on our meeting night, so we need to reschedule that, because we can't allow them to take control of the building, so to speak. You can't hold a meeting here, so.
So-
What's your pleasure, if you wanna have it the week after, or the Tuesday before, or the Tuesday after?
What would the Tuesday before be? Sorry.
I'm not sure.
April
Let me look
16th.
here.
I left my
April
phone.
16th?
That sounds about right. Look for a second. March. Okay, we've got the 16th or the 30th.
And then publish a notice of the change?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
we'll
catch
have to,
that?
we'll
Yeah.
have to,
Okay.
I'll have to reschedule and
Okay.
advertise.
For that.
April 16th?
April 16th, okay.
We need a motion for that,
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Now, does that need to be two different because of, or
No.
just, the advertising's a given?
Yeah, the advertising's automatic.
Okay, so I'll make the motion to approve the change to April 16th.
Second.
Brad second, all in favor?
Aye.
Reschedule to April 16th.
Yeah. Now, resignation of, like, he's not
Yes.
moving out of the area, is he?
No,
Okay.
here's his resignation. It just came I guess the end of last week, so.
No?
I know he's been busy. That's what I told her. I asked Natasha and she said he's out of town a lot.
So from Mike Rugh, excuse me, at this time I feel it necessary to submit my resignation as Assistant Emergency Management Coordinator for Rye Township. My employment personal obligations do not afford me the time to fulfill this obligation as needed. I do not know how much longer Jim Cassidy plans to remain in his position as EMA Coordinator, but I hope this gives time to find a suitable replacement for either position. It has been an honor serving the township. Sincerely, Michael R. Rugh. We thank Mike very much for his service to the township. Understandably, he does have to make that decision. It's tough, but it's appreciated.
Maybe Jim will know someone, because like
Yeah.
I was saying, there's a lot of certifications that are required now to be that EMC. It's not just a volunteer, like we used to
Oh,
just get a
yeah.
volunteer, somebody that was familiar with the fire company. You have to have all these certifications now. So Jim has them and he might know. I can give him a call,
Yeah.
give him a heads up. I don't know if Mike talked to him or not.
I was just gonna ask you, was he aware? Was Jim aware?
I didn't talk to Jim, no.
Okay, well, I'll make a motion that we accept, with regret, Mike Ruh's resignation as Assistant Emergency Management Coordinator.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Trash billing, so we've got two quotes, one from Pennsylvania Municipal Service, also known as PAMS, and from J.P. Harris. Daisy, do you wanna give us some detail on that?
Well, the people that I talked to was Jonathan Brenza from PAMS, and he's been following up and asking. Both of the guys were very, very nice. Jim Harris I've known for a long time. He does our delinquent per capita collection. And both of these companies were recommended by Keystone. Keystone is going more towards the tax end of things and getting rid of a lot of their smaller utility billings. And we are a very small utility billing for them. To me, it's a big one, but to them, it's a little one. So I guess we're just more of a hassle to them, but they did well for us for the years that we've had. They came on in 2016, the second quarter. So they will continue through March 31st, as we had talked about before. And so this new company, whomever it may be decided it is, will come on as of April 1st. But there'll be some work ahead of time that will need to be done. It looks like Pam's, as far as the cost.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I just wanna ask our solicitor a question
Mhm.
first before we go further. When you get competing bids like this, and these are folks that are kind of sharing inside information, do you really wanna give the losing bids number out when you're not gonna accept it? Just a question before we go ahead and do
What
it.
do you mean the number?
Well, we've got
Oh,
to,
oh, I
you know, and
see,
we-
I see. You mean the number of
what they're
going-
kind of
What they're-
charging.
yeah.
What they're
Yeah, the-
proposing.
I would think that we can keep that confidential.
Okay,
It would
okay,
be
out of
appropriate.
respect, okay,
Okay.
yeah, I think we should do, okay, so then we're not
Well,
gonna
the
put this on
better
also.
cost, can we say that?
Well,
Yeah.
You would need to say that.
yes, yeah.
It would be with Pam's, and it could be because they are larger. And I don't know who's been in business longer. Maybe you know Darryl, but I know J.P. Harris has been around a long time.
JP Harris does a lot of the local municipalities. I see them all the time.
Mhm,
Pam's, I think, has a good reputation too. But
mhm.
Harris, I see all the time in the local municipality billings. I think they're both competent.
I think so, or they wouldn't have been around as long as they
No,
have.
I haven't heard, I haven't seen anything bad about either one.
JP Harris does well for our per capita, following up.
They know what they're doing, I mean, I've never seen them,
They know the laws.
they know the law.
Yeah,
Okay, so the optimal quote is from Pam's,
uh-huh,
and they're out of Oakmont, PA, which we understand is
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh area, at a charge of 65 cents plus postage. And then delinquent costs, there are no cost. Additional features, paperless billing at 40 cents per online bill. And then reporting is monthly and quarterly, sent electronically. Payment of funds, ACH payments monthly. Proposal for 3 years, and the other one was for 3 years also, so that's identical. So, all that said, I'll make a motion that we accept the proposal from Pennsylvania Municipal Service. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
You second, all in favor? Aye.
and do I have the freedom then to try to streamline up some of the details in the agreement? You know, like some of the reporting and stuff like that we would be looking for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
would say.
But you'll have to
You're good?
sign,
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be an agreement with Pam's that you'll have to sign.
Okay.
But, so should that be part of the motion that, they can sign it, or do we have to wait till the next? We can wait till the next meeting. Just
I
so-
think it's probably more proper to get the agreement, just have it
Go over
reviewed,
it.
and then at the next meeting,
Okay,
vote to, cause it'll be February.
Right.
Plenty
okay,
of
then
time.
that makes me
Thank-
feel better.
Yeah, I think that's the best procedure, and then vote to accept that contract.
Okay, so we're going to accept the proposal and then put together the agreement with the specifications of what we want for the billing and collection.
Right, yeah, cause you know what you need there.
Right,
so.
I know what I'm used to, and
Right.
maybe they have some.
They might be able to have some better options.
I
who
like
knows?
the fact that they said, you know, you can do it online and you can go in and look at your account.
Yeah.
Where before, people couldn't do
Couldn't
that.
do anything.
I mean, you could pay a credit card, but,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of, I mean, they're a bigger company, I believe. Pam's is bigger than JP Harris, is that correct? That's the
I think so,
impression I
yeah.
got, that's the
Okay.
impression I got.
So we got the full resolution, I'm sorry, the motion to approve, right, you seconded?
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Pam was okay with it, so, gonna go with Pam's,
To accept their proposal.
yeah, and Daisy, I'm gonna give these back to you just
Oh,
so they
okay.
don't
Get lost.
end
Okay.
up, well, so they, because again, we've got the competing bid in there. we just
Oh,
wanna
yeah.
dispose of it, so-
Okay. Yeah.
So, thank you.
Actually, JP Harris had given
Yeah.
us a
Same.
quote, when we went with Keystone,
No, okay.
so they were familiar with what we were looking for. Okay,
Discussion of the quotes for the garage heater, and before we go, did we turn that one off? This is the heater in the far, okay. Safety wise, it's,
It's okay.
okay. Do we have those quotes?
here, I just wanna let you know, we have from Fuller's Handyman, we have from KG Heating and Cooling, and from ARCS. And the one from ARCS and KG Heating and one of Fuller's is for the oil fired. And then Fuller's also provided the propane, I guess is gas or
Mhm.
propane. Kinda like this one here, I think.
Mhm. Okay, so KG is
They're taking
also
over for,
Comfort Check.
yeah, Comfort Check, that's the
Okay.
name, I couldn't think of it.
Okay, but KG is the one where the township would need to purchase the
Yes.
equipment, they're just
Yeah.
going to install it.
Right,
Okay.
that's the difference there.
Okay, and then Parks,
I think we were picking it up then also.
I think we
Is
were
that
picking that up too
correct?
also.
yeah, okay, again, I don't wanna give their numbers out if they're not going to, you've both seen the bids?
No,
Okay.
I have not.
Oh, okay,
Let me see this.
sorry. Okay, good.
They
Those
from,
two.
were actually from last year, so.
Okay.
both of them said they would honor them. I did check on that.
Yeah, so this is the heater that's in the far garage. It's currently an oil-fired unit, and it's got an exposed flame, which it's not supposed to have. It's pretty well worn, and so the decision was to get quotes to get it replaced. Two quotes that we have that Sean's holding that are lower, but they're lower because the township would buy the equipment and these folks would install it. This one from Fuller's Handyman Service is Fuller's purchasing the equipment and providing it, which, one, because it's one-stop shopping, there's one person that's responsible, one company that's responsible for it, and also, I have experience using Fuller's Handyman Service. I've had very good success with them. Based on all that and the fact that we need it. Oh,
Where
sorry,
did you
no.
say that the furnace itself would be around 5,000? So we had 5,000 to what those quotes are.
Yeah, so Fuller's is actually cheaper,
Mm-hmm.
and he's also going with propane. There's gonna be no issue with, cause we've already got propane hangar here.
Now for the propane, does this include running the lines or whatever that need run for that?
I would think, because he's been here, he's been here
Okay.
before,
Wow.
and he
But
knows.
he actually put
he knows-
this in, he put it,
Okay.
Yeah,
call
he
that
knows
thing.
Yeah, I've never had a quote from him in the past
He
where
put that in.
didn't give you a one,
Yeah.
you know. Okay. You've seen everything? Okay. I'll make a motion to then, approve the quote from Fuller's Handyman Service for the total amount of $6,800.
So
sorry,
which one?
No.
No,
Is it
that's what I'm looking-
propane or
Okay,
oil?
yep, okay, so the oil one is 6,800. Propane one is 5,800, and propane's just as good in my mind, to make it better. It's $1,000 cheaper, so it's certainly better. Equivalent size, make a motion we approve the proposal from Fuller's Handyman Service for the propane unit for $5,800. Do you have a second?
I'll second it.
One second, Brad, you in favor?
And I did speak to him, he wanted so much money down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's half
I
and half.
asked him that, and he said, no, that's okay, since we're a township, that's what he does with people, but he said with the township, we're okay. He said, but he would like paid the day that he's done here.
Yeah.
So when I know he's gonna be done, I might have to call you and say, hey, I need some signatures.
Okay.
Brad will be here, but someone will also have to sign also.
Okay.
So if that's okay to pay him that way,
Yep, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Okay.
and that amount, cause see, I'm not allowed to do interim checks over 2,500, so.
Right, yeah.
Do
that's
we need
fine.
to do anything with that as far as a motion?
I think what's that, paying the,
Paying him 5,800 at
Upon
the time of,
completion.
I don't think you have to do it as a motion if you want to.
just make sure it's on the agenda,
Yeah.
or however you wanna do it.
that after the fact, that we pay him.
Right, I don't know what day he's coming, he
Yeah.
probably has to order this furnace, but
Okay,
it might be 2 days after a meeting, it might be a day before the meeting, then, I don't know.
okay,
I mean, you could authorize the payment up to that amount.
Upon completion of the job.
Yeah, you
or
can make
whatever.
a motion and say, cause if it's on an odd day,
Right,
if you've covered it and say, we're gonna make a motion saying that we will agree to pay Fuller's
yeah,
up to the limit of
$5,800.
$5,800, when the job's complete.
satisfactory,
Yeah, then if it's on an odd day, there's no
then
question.
we can do it,
There's
okay.
no question.
I think that would be better.
make that motion to approve payment in full on the day of completion for $5,800 to Fuller's Handyman Service. Do we have a second?
Go ahead, Tom.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a good price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is-
It's a really good one.
So we were paying that much for the heaters one time.
That, what is that?
Well,
I
Mini
mean,
split.
Well, that's a mini split.
a mini split.
Yeah, that's a mini
See, I
Okay.
said he put that in also
Yeah.
for us.
Oh, yeah.
It was
It's
like
been
a lot less than
Yeah.
what the quote we had got, if I remember.
very good.
I need a pump.
Okay, I think we're done with quotes.
Okay, authorize the RFP for spring cleanup.
That's just to allow Nancy and I to work together and get them sent out, because remember the one year we didn't get them done in time, and then we didn't get any and we had to redo them. So that way we can bring them back in again in February.
Okay, make a motion to approve sending out the RFPs. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving on to employee agreement. This is the finalized agreement after consultation with, the employees and our solicitor. We don't have everyone here able to sign it, that being one of the employees is not here this evening, so, I'll make a motion to approve the employee agreement, as assembled, and do we have a second? No, Brad's gonna
Yeah, I'll second.
second.
So
You're
Greg
gonna
can
abstain officially?
He should recuse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Agreement, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, employee agreement, for 1-year term is, approved.
You should this table, there's a bunch of copies here, and on each page.
Yeah, we'll sign now,
Initial,
and then
initial,
sign an
sign.
initial, yep. Sounds good, thank you.
Yep.
How many copies do we, all of these?
Well, we only need like one original signed by everybody. I have extra ones there in case the 3 employees wanna take it home.
Okay.
Cause
That way?
they're entitled to it.
I could do 2. There we go.
Brad,
Two, and one
John.
Daisy.
Dave.
I can do it.
There we go, okay. And
Thanks,
then
Bill.
this, my copy, and then one is gonna be signed.
One will be signed and
One will be
kept on
signed.
file.
Yeah.
So then I'll have to get Johnny
Mhm.
tomorrow.
There's initials on each page, Daisy, when everybody signs it.
Okay,
There's 3.
I'll double check that they
Yeah,
get it all.
there's 3 lines for each of the
Okay.
employees on each page.
Yeah, I see that.
And we can handwrite in
You can.
today's date, yep. that.
What I do with it. And Becky's got it. Maybe I didn't. I think I wrote it down on there. Down to.
Now,
I knew I had it. Just gets, one page gets stuck with the other pages.
while I'm doing this, let me see if we can move on. Elected auditors set wages, elected officials working part-time as employees for $14.50 an hour Elected official working full-time has employees between 22 and 27 per hour. So we just need a motion.
Do they need a motion, or does that
They
just
already
need
said
to
it.
be recorded? I like to keep it in the minutes so that, you know, the auditors are looking.
Cause the auditor said it, right?
You want it in the minutes, let's make a
Make it a motion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sean, are you inclined to make that?
I'll make a motion to.
Brad, are
have
you
that duly
inclined to
recorded
second that
in the
motion?
minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Oh, that's right, you gotta recuse yourself. I'll second that motion. Brad abstains. Motion is approved.
Aye.
Aye, thank you, Sean.
Jim, on the signature page, if you look at, Brad's listed here, but I don't think he should sign as an
Okay.
employee, only as an employee. We should write the word recuse
Okay.
for, cause I don't think he should be employer and employee.
Yeah.
Now, we
Or
write
abstain,
recuse, does he need to initial that recuse, or just the fact that the word recuse is?
Now,
in
cause
there?
he's gonna sign here as an
Yeah.
employee, so I would say just write the word recusing cause he's not gonna sign as the employer.
Okay. I should write abstain, but recuse is fine.
Recuse and abstain, either one will work.
I hope recuse is okay.
Because that's what it's
That's
got.
what
Yeah,
you
no,
did
no,
last
Bruce
time.
is right, it's proper, he's not going to, he'll sign as an employee.
Okay, yeah. You can initial, and then Brad,
Will I initial that too, or?
You'll only initial as an employee,
Okay.
I just have to
and
sign.
sign as an employee.
Oh.
Okay, so the back page, I'll,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, you didn't sign it.
Just
Did I
as
miss?
an employee.
You did.
But you'll have initials in every case.
that's right.
Oh, I will have initials on
Oh,
that.
as an employee.
Okay.
There's an employee initial section.
Okay, good.
There.
Yeah.
Should
Date
fill
of the
that- Yeah, we
seals.
should fill that date in.
You'll fill it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Johnny's gonna sign that tomorrow. Brad,
I'll get it.
well, did you
That's all right.
sign it now?
Yeah, that's all right, go ahead, go ahead.
I'm gonna put the date on here, 20.
Are we good to proceed?
Pardon?
We're good to proceed?
Yeah,
We're
go
good?
ahead.
Okay,
We can
okay,
do this later,
okay.
because Johnny has to sign anyway.
Accept the 2024 tax certification, real estate $172,756.62, and the personal $9,200.
Yep, and Becky gave me that signed, from the duplicate. That's the amount, it is up a little bit from last year.
We need a motion to accept?
Yeah,
I think so.
Okay.
yeah, cause we have to have a number to start
Oh,
by,
okay.
so we start,
Sean, are you making that motion?
Yeah, I'll make that motion to accept that
I'll second.
certificate.
Brad, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Acceptance of the 2024 tax certification is approved, and geez, we're already at announcements. So the office is gonna be closed for President's Day, which is February 19th, and spring cleanup will be Friday, May 3rd, and Saturday, May 4th.
People have been asking me already, I've had a couple calls about it, I don't know if they're cleaning their closets out or what.
Probably.
Or
So I
they
thought-
missed last year.
Huh?
And Penn wasted up their curbside pickup so much, people won't call for it.
No,
That's-
okay,
that's
well,
true.
that'll do it.
That'll
Yeah.
do it, yeah.
Okay, moving on to approval and payment of the bills. Daisy, please.
2023 general fund checks 17858 to 17866 in the amount of $46,317.70. There were no checks voided. 2024 general fund checks 17867 to 17880 in the amount of $9,999.58. There were no expense checks voided, payroll checks 8304 to 8309 in the amount of $4,498.31. Payroll checks 8310 to 8314 in the amount of $5,060.04, and there were no payroll checks voided.
Just noticed, the memo portion of the, report,
I don't know where mine got to with all this.
that's okay, I get it.
Okay.
They're cut off, some of them are cut off, so if we can just,
It only goes so far.
Really?
Yeah, and
Okay.
some of the descriptions are, like, I can't put on all the street signs, there were like 3 street signs. So it is not
Okay.
going to fit no matter what we do.
okay,
Just know that it's street signs, I mean, we try to put,
okay, as long as we do our best to get the relevant portion
yeah,
on there.
that's what I
we
try to do, and
Okay.
Nancy does too, so.
Okay. Make a motion to approve payment of the bills, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Brad second, all in favor?
Aye.
Bills are approved, be paid, thank you Daisy for that.
We will.
Now, second portion of citizen participation, do we have any at this time? John?
Sure, I got some. So, it's in relation to the employee agreement, as you can imagine. So, number one, can you tell me what specifically changed in this agreement from the previous agreement? Because I do have a copy of the old one, so I'd like to know what's different.
Yeah, so I think the proper procedure is, John, if you make a right to know request. then
Okay, or I can see it afterwards, right?
We're not gonna, not until it's signed.
It's not signed by the
It's not
employees
signed by
yet.
everybody
And
yet,
it won't
so
be signed by
But they
them.
just signed it, so why couldn't I?
once it's signed by the employees, then it can be available through a right to know request.
Okay, will I actually get that right to know request before a 30-day extension and everything like that? I mean, it is right here, because I typically end up seeing it.
I would
for
think that
one.
we'll respond to it, like, it's not a difficult request, so
Right.
we'll respond to it like immediately.
Okay, that'd be great.
But I think that until it's signed, it's technically not in final form until all the employees sign it, so. John hasn't signed it yet. so-
Right, and I would think though, if he's gonna make a change, they'd have to come back and
Oh,
reapprove it,
yeah,
right?
but that could happen, he could say,
Right.
I don't like that, so kick it back, and then, so we're
Right.
still in draft stage, so once he signs it, then I think
Right.
the right to know.
Well, it's like that interim draft where it's like, well, it's approved by the board,
But not totally done.
but,
But they have to sign it, once they do, then it's available.
Yeah.
And it
So-
won't take long.
okay, so what, that was gonna be my second question. So my third one is it's more of a comment. So I know in December, I did ask if the public would be available to see this draft in draft format, so that we could actually come and make public comment on it. Did we forget about that,
No.
or, because it wasn't available
No,
anywhere
John, I
online?
didn't forget about it. You
Okay.
recall, I said we would do our best to do it, but on advice of counsel, because that's, especially a personnel issue. And we did talk with our counsel about that, and
Hmm?
we were advised that because of the situation, as Darrell has just also alluded to and detailed, it's not executed yet, and so therefore it would be inappropriate.
Okay, so it's just shoved down the resident's
No.
throat though. It is.
Well, no.
We didn't get to comment on it because we can't see it. So how can you make comment on it? Okay, I'll move on to the next one then, so.
Please.
All right, so in the Duncannon record, Penn Township noted in a supervisors meeting that they hold annual reviews of their employees. Does Rye Township complete annual reviews, and who attends them?
Well, so this is, up until now, we have had 3-year contracts. This is a 1-year contract.
So this is one? Okay, that'd be great detail to put out, thank you. That's why I'm saying, is there any differences in the past? So, okay, it's a 1-year, thank you. So, can you continue what you were trying to say? Sorry for interrupting.
no.
That's a big detail, sorry.
That's,
That is a big detail, right?
okay.
Okay. So why do we do employee reviews? That's what my question was, sorry for interrupting.
I'm not sure employee reviews, I mean, you can do them, but I'm not sure that they would be something that the public would have a right to review, I think.
No, I agree, we wouldn't.
Right,
But that would be justification for an
I mean,
increase or
the-
whatever.
The municipality could certainly say if in their, as they manage the business, could say we're gonna do reviews. I mean, they can do that, they can choose not to, but well, they can do a formal review, they can decide that, but it's not something that would be, I think, reviewable by the people.
Yeah, I
I
agree,
think
that's a
that's
personnel,
confidential.
that is a
Yeah, I think
personnel
that's
thing, I agree.
confidential.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if we do them and why we don't if we don't.
That's our, if we wanna do reviews, we do reviews, if we don't have to.
Right,
I'm
but
not sure.
I would think that'd be
That's-
justification.
You're right,
I mean,
that would be up to the.
If you're getting a raise, if you're giving an employee a raise, typically that goes with a review. Typically.
Maybe typically,
Mm-hmm,
but that doesn't mean always.
Right.
right,
So typically is typical,
Mhm.
you know.
okay. It's just always good to have justification on why you'd be giving somebody a raise, but, okay. Yeah,
Some do, some don't.
alright. And then my last question, and this is it. So at the elected auditors meeting, the chairperson said, you know, they were directed by the solicitor to choose a range for hourly pay for supervisors. I'm just wondering why, you know, I don't know what's up with this contract, but obviously it goes back to you guys to decide what employees are making instead of them, because it's such a wide range that they were provided, a $22 to $27 difference. So, it's almost like a question to the solicitors, how is it our auditors aren't the ones choosing the rate and, you know, the exact rate? And if it's because, we could hire, you know, the reason given was because we could hire another supervisor as an employee, and we have to leave it open. But wouldn't that make it that you'd want to make it for positions instead and not a range for anyone coming in?
so your question is,
Why would we give a
says-
range?
what was
as
that?
Why would the auditors only give a range?
I
for
think
hire?
they're looking at the range to see what other people in similar municipalities are making to justify that. I think that, now, Mr. Pykosh, I think, was probably the one that looked at that, but I could check, but that would be my opinion, is oftentimes when you're looking at what you're gonna pay employees in a municipality, you're gonna see, well, what are the neighboring municipalities paying, and gives you an idea as to what is,
Mm-hmm.
you know, what's
Yeah.
what's
And-
acceptable.
and I
But-
would-
But the decision's ultimately up to the board after they review that material, and they say, okay, here's what we're gonna do based off of these factors.
But it wouldn't be up to the board, it should be up to the auditors, right?
No, I don't think so.
The auditors are the
On
ones that
setting the
determine it.
pay,
Yeah, the auditors set the pay for the supervisors as employees.
When a
Does-
supervisor works as an elected official works as an
Okay.
employee.
gotcha.
Yep.
I'd have to talk to Mr. Pykosh about that directly. I
'Cause-
was a little confused, you're talking about Brad,
Mhm.
Right.
okay. And I'd have to run that past Mr. Pykosh, and I could get an answer. 'Cause he-
It,
he-
it just
he-
seems weird that it took it out of the hands of the auditors and put it back at the board here. So, but that's,
I'm
what we
not
do
sure
here.
about that, let me check
Yeah.
with Mr. Pykosh, I'm not sure that that's what happened, I need to check with him.
I'm just curious, John, are you asking if something, or are you suggesting that something underhanded is being done by doing it that way? Really,
I'm bringing it
I
up
wanna
because
understand
the other two auditors were all about Brad only getting a maximum 3%. And I don't know what's in the agreement, because I can't see it. But they were set on 3%. But the maximum amount that they had set here was up to 6.5%. So that's why it's like, you know,
Yeah, this.
and
I
the
can
solicitor,
tell you,
no
you know,
solicitor was at the meeting for the auditors, so that didn't help.
I can
So-
tell you, it wasn't done loosely, and I know that there were some extenuating circumstances, and that involved discussions with our solicitor, Mike Pykosh, who's not here this evening to comment further.
And he wasn't at the auditors
And that
meeting
was-
either, which I would recommend he be at the auditors meeting next time.
I'm glad you would recommend that, John, but it's really up to the board.
Right, but if one of the auditors is gonna say this came from the solicitor, well, and no documentation for the other two, it's kinda like, well, could have just been made up. And I know,
Okay,
you would
John, I
hope
think
that
we-
wouldn't happen, but it could. So, I'm just saying,
Okay,
it would be nice to have that. If you're gonna quote legal people, and that's or not quote, but state that's what came from our legal entity, you would love to see the legal entity being there to say that too. Or, you know, if Mike was here tonight to say, yeah, that's what I heard.
okay, I think we beat that one pretty good, John, so do you have another?
No, that was it, as I said.
Okay, well, thank you everyone for your comments, appreciate it, and make a motion to adjourn, do we have a second? Brad, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You sounded like
Well, I
that.
can't-
You weren't